Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to the final in the series, the Viewer's Choice 3 series. Today's going to be Akkerman. Okay, it's got a lot more to the title than that. It's Akkerman Dutch Masters, number 5, Isreal's Zeeblauw. I'm trying to say that right. It's a very pretty ink. It kind of defies description in my opinion. But let's get it into the bath test real quick. See what happens while we're doing this review. Okay, we'll push it aside. And I wanted to give you just a quick update that Diamine Tyrian Purple did stay true to what we saw on the review, and it was an A in the clean out. No problems at all getting that out of my pens. So, okay, so this ink today was tied with Diamine Tyrian Purple for the final slot. So here we go. Let's get started. But before that, I just wanted to tell you that these Akkerman inks are made in the Netherlands, and this one is based on this painting, Johannes Isreal's, and it was 1872 painting called Children of the Sea. I thought that was cool. Very, very cool. And even before I open the ink journal, let's look at how this ink comes, because I have my SBRE brown ink that came in this same kind of bottle with the stopper in the top. Now I'm going to let some ink down so that then we can go ahead and I'll demonstrate it, because it's really cool if you haven't yet tried their inks. It has a little marble that traps ink up there so you can easily fill, but you want to make sure it's tight. Then you turn it upside down and then the ink is there, but you want to still drain out a little, because otherwise you'll have a spill maybe if you're me. So then you're kind of ready to do whatever you want. I don't fill directly from bottles because I'm afraid of making a contamination or something, but these come in the most beautiful packaging and bottle. I just really love it, and I was happy to be able to get that one. So let's dive into this ink, and here it is. It's just such a pleasing color. It will come through for you a lot better when we see it on the white paper. So it's right now looking just a little bit darker than it is, and that's variable because of my sun and my natural light, but it has a red kind of a haloing effect that goes on to that 52 gram Tomoe River paper. But here it is in the broad nib, and I did find it available at Van Ness, but I'm also going to go ahead and link you right directly to the Akkerman website. I like the fact that you could get a 4 ml sample for $3, and then the great big bottle, this, you know, it's 120 mils when you get them, is $38. So here it is, and it took about 10 seconds to dry. That was interesting. I just kind of guessed, and there we were. And then in the fine nib, which is down here, very nice. I saw a lot of shading. I was happy with the shading throughout. Actually, on almost all the papers till we got to the very end in the copy paper, there was a lot of nice shading. And my first impressions were just a big wow. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad this got voted in. Just really pretty. Very pleasant color and lots of shading. So then here's the chromatography. And so I'm thinking we're still going to be able to read that after the test, but it'll probably be kind of a dark grayish, you know, kind of color like that line is there. So let's get right into the notebooks. First of all is the CVS caliber paper, and I think we're gonna see it more accurately on this. Don't ask me why. Probably the white paper has something to do with it. And then you can also see that red sheen or haloing effect better on this paper. So right here all the way through is the broad nib. I still saw quite a bit of shading, and this, you know, this is really, really cheap paper. 25 seconds to dry. Kind of odd, you know, it's interesting. I think it's because this paper is ink resistant that we see, you know, it mimics almost Tomoe River paper in some regards. Not quite, but of course. And then in the fine nib, we still had a little bit of subtle shading, not too much. And then, well, about the same time to dry, I guess, 10 seconds. I see slight smear. No, I circled 12, so I felt like maybe it was still smearing at 10. Okay, had hand oils up in this area, I think, so disregard that, because I had no problems writing on this paper. Okay, so next is the Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid. Oh, I got water everywhere. Water's not good around ink samples. Okay, and this is another cream paper. We are seeing the ink look a lot darker blue, but not by several shades, just by a couple. Always irritates me, but I'll get past it. Okay, here's lots of shading, even on this paper. 10 seconds to dry. And then in the fine nib, the shading becomes more subtle here. Yeah, I can see it, but I don't, it's a lot more subtle in the fine nib on this paper. And then about 10 seconds to dry. So, next is Clairefontaine. And this is, we're back on white paper. That's why I see you are getting kind of a mixed bag here, but that now it's looking a lot like itself. I'm telling you, right here is a good place to judge the color, really. It's shading and it's gorgeous, rich saturated color comes out. Approximately 25 seconds to dry on this one. This is real ink resistant paper. Let's see, the fine nib, it looks nice, and it took 10 seconds to dry. Let's see. Of course, nothing went through, and there's barely any ghosting. Okay. I think we forgot to check. Yeah, I forgot to show you. Okay, it tried to seep through that Leuchtturm, but it really didn't do anything in terms of the writing. It was very well behaved. Okay, now we're moving into 3 Tomoe River notebooks. The first one is the Birmingham little pocket size, and it is, oh, I still have that misplaced. I thought I'd corrected all those today. It's 52 GSM. We see a lot of red, like a halo around that swatch, and then we see quite a bit of shading. Right throughout this, I love the shading of this ink. It's just, you know, it's not ridiculous. It doesn't look like a zebra, but it's a nice subtle shading, and actually at times it's more than subtle, but in the pens I'm using, that's how it's coming across. Broad nib, 20 seconds to dry. Very pretty. Let's see. I was trying to see, you know, at times my eye can kind of see a little bit of a red tint, but not so much. And then in the fine nib, 10 seconds to dry. The shading becomes more subtle, which is to be expected. Okay, and then it tries to seep through, but it really doesn't. That's, to me, that's just ghosting. Okay, and then in the Live Notes by Pen Gallery, 68 GSM. Wow, guess I didn't move that one either. Here it is. We get a lot of nice red sheen there on the painted part. And then we get tons of shading, really nice in the broad nib. Just really pretty. And then down in the fine nib, you get shading, but it's much more subtle. I'm sounding like a broken record there. Oh, I didn't do the scrubby test or the drying on this. If I had to guess, I'd say it would be just about like, probably very similar to this one. It might take just a little bit longer because this is a little bit more resistant. Sorry about that. Okay, one more Tomoe River notebook, and that is my Cafe Note, which is also that lighter weight, 52 GSM. And it just was super pleasing on here. It had what I would call just really nice shading, just as much as on any of the other paper. So I was really happy with it. I love seeing it go from that light, kind of faded blue all the way up to the deeper color of this blue. It's just gorgeous. And then I put it in the fine nib, and it was just like all the other papers. It just makes it a little more subtle, but it's still really pretty, I thought. Very nice. Okay, maybe you can already tell. Spoiler alert, this was my favorite of these 8 inks. Oh. Okay, so we could still read it. So that makes it, you know, very similar to what we found on the last profile, which was the Tyrian Purple by Diamine. You get that that readability, sort of readability. It's not like you don't have any color left. Okay, let's get on the color panel here and see what we've got. Such a beautiful ink. I just felt like I couldn't find anything that looks just like it. It's so pretty. I went a little nuts about it, really. Okay, so there it is in the middle. And, okay. Where do I begin? Okay, I think I'll begin here. Right next to it is one that's lighter. It's almost like you dial the color down. Quite a bit, actually, though. And I'm pretty sure that I would be happier with the Akkerman in a nib. And then same thing when you drop to the bottom right-hand corner, the Ink Journal Holiday Blend, Snowmageddon. You know, it's still very complementary and similar, but it just dives in saturation and shade there. Just gets a lot lighter. And then we've got, on the left, we've got the opposite where it's the Lamy Crystal Amazonite, and it's really not so comparable because inside there, it just got the brighter aspects more, and it just makes it look so different. They look more similar on the panel than they do in real life, but not by much, so... Okay, and then Ferris Wheel Press, I dug that one out too, even though that's another one. All of these kind of go away from blue, kind of toward a little more greenish kind of, and that's hard. That's not really a good explanation. Huh. Very interesting here how they look. They look more similar when you get them together on a panel. It doesn't make any sense. And here's a much darker Robert Oster Blue Denim. I love that ink, and I'm trying to think, I haven't had it in a nibs too much, so that puts me at a handicap there to say how it would compare to the Akkerman. But this was a lot of fun. Now let's see if we have, now we got some wild cards here. We've got like Emerald of Chivor, you know, but I thought some people really, you know, kind of know about this one, and we'll just, it's a shimmer ink, and it's way out there though. And petrol is way out there because it's green. You see how much greener even than these that lean toward the green aspect. But I got it out anyway. And same with Robert Oster Tranquility. That's so far away. And there were endless other ones, but I thought I'd try to narrow it down. And I do need to show you though. I didn't have a separate one of Sad Stormy Swedish Sea. So I'm just going to kind of lay it here, and we're looking at these two. Today's right here, the Akkerman, and then the Straits Pen Honest Ink, Sad Stormy Swedish Sea, which we'll be looking at next month. Isn't that interesting how there's some similarities, and there's even similarities in the name. This means, oh, did I drop it again? I know what I'm trying to say, but I dropped a paper. Well, all of that disturbance just to say that the Zeeblauw, it means sea blue. I don't know what's going on with me today, but this is the second take, and I'm not going to delete this again. I'm just not going to do it. So I just have to put up with my brain acting the way it is. And I've already eaten my breakfast, so anyway, I just wanted to compare those two. They're not exactly alike, but people were really excited about this one too, and we'll be seeing that one. Okay, one more here. I got to get myself in hand here. Was a Pelikan Edelstein Aquamarine. I'm going to put it very awkwardly next to it. You know, you could tell they're not the same. You can even tell how much lighter that appears, you know, when you add water. But I still thought it was reminiscent, but I didn't really want to make a bunch of new cards right at the moment. So the only thing left right now is to look at the, you suppose we could look at the visual journal without me forgetting a word or something? I'm not sure. Let's try. Okay, so here it is, Akkerman Dutch Masters, Isreal's Zeeblauw. Let's just say it, not try to pronounce it, because I get rattled, then I look for the card and it's missing and I freak out. So, okay, I like it. It's very nice. It's not very complex in terms of what's going on once you mix water, or I put the water down first, of course, but it's still a very, very pleasing shade of blue. I'm trying to see, yeah, you're seeing a pretty accurate, this is on white, and also off to the left I have lots of natural light, and then it just completely kind of fuzzed away over here. Maybe there was more water put down, and there's the direct onto the paper with the pen. comes out quite a bit darker, you know, but we see that where it stays darker in both samples. So this was really fun. Now my question for you really is not only what you thought of today's, right in the middle as usual, but which one was your favorite out of these 8? I have to say for me it was today's. I like that sea blue. It's just gorgeous. It's very pleasing to look at. I can't quite pinpoint why, and I don't have anything just like it, which is a very dangerous thing. It's like, oh, yeah, because we all have long wish lists and we all have so much ink already that we have a lifetime supply. But it's still nice to explore these, and I always recommend getting a sample. But we started with Diamine November Rain, that Germany exclusive. Then we went to Birmingham Boysenberry, which is in their production queue but wasn't available at the time. Then J. Arbonne Kyanite du Nepal, that was beautiful shimmer ink. Diamine Earl Grey. Then we went to Steel Blue, which we had it on today's panel just for, you know, contrast more or less. And then Diamine Maureen. And then the one before this one, which was the Diamine Tyrian Purple. And then today's. Which one did you like best? I'd love to hear about it. And I do apologize for my brain freezes and stuckness on pronouncing things today. Usually I just confidently misspell everything, or mispronounce everything. But today I was fumbling for that card. It kept falling down, and I was like, oh well. I need to someday do a blooper reel, I guess. Okay, I'm leaving. See you on the next one. Bye for now.